All right, we're live. Believe it or not, we're back. This is insane. All right, so 6:75. I realize it's well, what is it? Some places, I guess, on the East Coast, it's Monday morning. It's kind of late, to be doing
Yeah.
this in a week, but we'll go ahead and knock it out. All right, I'm on page 1,
Okay.
and we got Madara throwing this. And this is going to be quick, by the way, everybody. We're just going to speed through this. So. All right, this was the first thing that got me, was how that he was, it made me think, and I even said this in the review, how he was able to Kamoi her away, Sakura, without going
That's
with her.
one of them. That's one of them that I was confused. Like, did he ever display that type of ability before?
Yes. Do you remember when he fought Danzo and he just zipped these 2 henchmen away? Do you remember when that happened?
This is before the Sasuke fight, or
This is right around. No, this is at the time, because he has his henchmen, and he gets rid of the 2 henchmen that Danzo have, so that it's just Danzo, one-on-one. Right?
Oh, so he just teleport them away, like
Sasuke. Well, he did. He just zapped them, and he even did it when he zapped them back. Whenever he was with Kabuto, and he wanted to test the Ito thing, and he was making. He said, "Show me." He says, "These two bodies should still be fresh," and it was them. So he evidently has the ability just to move things back and forth. I guess if within a certain range, he can move things within a certain range of him, back and forth into that dimension. So he has done it before.
Alright, so, that makes sense.
Yeah, because that totally got me too. I was like, wait a minute, what? He has to go. That was the whole point, is he has to go with him, but he doesn't. So he zapped her over.
And he could zap himself back if he wanted to?
Yeah, but the only thing is the time, and Madara knows that. So I guess he was sitting there, and Madara doesn't care about her, right? He couldn't care less about Sakura, so he wants his Rinnegan. He wants
his eye back.
He wants his eye back, right? And then he's gonna, like I say, what he's probably gonna do is use Black Zetsu. What's left of Obito. He's gonna work Black Zetsu like a puppet, and he's gonna have both. He'll take his Rinnegan back, but he'll be able to use the Kamoi too. So that's what he wants. Or he can. He could actually have both of Obito's eyes back in Black Zetsu or Obito.
It looks like a fight between Obito and the Black Zetsu while Madara is there. And he has to worry about Madara while he's fighting off the Black Zetsu. I guess it looks that way.
It kind of looks that way, but we'll go ahead because he kind of explains the whole thing about how he's got that thing set up on him and how it kind of works in reverse. All right, so we go through the whole thing, and there's Sakura's back, and then and then this wasn't a good chapter for Sakura because she gets saved by Obito, right? And then we got the flashback, but I guess this is part of it. And so we got the flashback where Sakura is talking with Obito, Black Zetsu, and he says, "I no longer have the strength to move," which is because of what happened. If I lose any more strength, the body, mind, the Rinnegan would be taken over by Black Zetsu. So that's what but he can't move, and he explained that later on why. Okay, and he knows what he's going to do. So they talk, and he's like, "You got to destroy this thing," And then he also explained. Do you remember why a lot of people were wondering why Obito didn't do more with the Rinnegan?
Yeah.
And he explains. He says even with just the left eye, it's overwhelming chakra ability. I'm not its original owner, and he basically says it's
pretty much like
power. Huh?
It's pretty much like a Kakashi thing. With his eye, he can't use it too much because he's not connected with the eye.
Exactly. It's the same thing. He's overpowered. But he makes all exactly. It is the same thing. Since the body wasn't for his body, it's not his eye to begin with. It's bad, and then the abilities are just so powerful on top of that.
His body can't keep up with it.
Yeah, he can't. Yeah, exactly. So it's the same thing as Kakashi. Exactly. So
I guess that logic makes sense.
Yeah. So all these eyes going all over the place. And so, okay, and then we get back to the part. What do you think about Madara? What do you think about the top half of Madara floating there talking?
Like, I actually laughed. I was like, "Yo, you for real?" Like, that made me like not want to read the chapter for like 10 minutes.
It's and not only that, but he's actually picking up Obito.
And he's picking
Around.
Obito up in the air, and looks like he's lifting him up higher. Because you can see it because there's a panel where you see Obito's face, and it looks like he's being choked up. So it looks like he's like dragging him up and stuff.
That's crazy. Senju Dine and then Madara could just flat out do anything just because he's Madara. So it's pretty crazy. And then we get through the whole thing to explain why Kakashi peered. Okay, let me make sure I get it right here. It's his seal that he's got on him.
It's the next chapter after that, right?
It's the next page. Yeah, exactly. Okay. It appears you knew that. And he says, yeah, I couldn't be the Jinchuriki. But, I mean, this is... Madara there's a couple things. He shows how evil and maniacal he is, but he just shows what a genius and how far ahead he is of everybody. Because he had Obito set up so that he could not ever be the Jinchuriki for the Jubi. He couldn't do it. So, because he's like, oh, huh?
So ain't that like kind of his little trump card?
Yeah, that was one of them. The Puppet Master Seal. I put a constraint on it that inhibits you from being able to remove it from your body. So he has it so he can't remove it, and that's why he let Kakashi tear his chest out, so Kakashi would get rid of it. And that's all. What's weird is, like it points out, is actually Kakashi did the same thing, because he did the same thing to Rin.
So what is it? It's like Obito knew about it, like he's trying to tell.
And he let Kakashi do it, yeah.
Because it looked like they never even spoke about it. It's just that they kind of like figure each other out.
Yeah, exactly. And it says Madara's like, the seal that I put into you too, of course, prohibits you from being able to commit suicide either. And after all, you're quite an important pawn. Oh man, yeah. But he explained. But when it removes them, it makes them to where they can't. They're just immobile after that. So, because this is what's happened, he can't move, and that's, So he was fighting it, but that's it.
So what? He's gonna be like moved around by the Black Zetsu?
Yeah, Obito's will isn't going to be able to move it around. So Madara, well, that's something else. I don't know if Madara's going to have to do something to it so that he'll be able to use it. Whenever Obito croaks, he'll be able to use him like a puppet. Because that looks like what's going to happen. He's just going to use him like a puppet.
There's a panel that is like an overview of Madara and Obito, and Madara's hand is inside the Black Zetsu, like it's molded together.
Yeah, my thing's freezing up here, so. Alright, let me go to another place where I could try to watch this. So what's happening on that screen?
It's like it's an overview with Madara and Obito, and you see Madara's hand is inside the Black Zetsu, but it looks like it's molded together. Like it's all one thing now.
All right. Okay, I'm going there with another web browser since that one locked up on me.
That's okay.
Hey, what's going on? I'm sorry to bother you while you were gaming, but I don't know if you got the message. Yeah.
No, I thought that was for like 3 days from now or something before.
You know what? I did it just like not very long ago, so I'm glad you guys showed up at all. I mean, it was last minute, so really appreciate it.
Yeah, luckily I tend to refresh my subscription page and check things. So.
Yeah, so I went ahead and thought, well, we'll just go ahead and take a shot at it. We're like right in the middle of doing the Naruto thing. My browser froze up on one of them, so I started another deal up here.
Okay. What page are we on?
We're not that far into it.
For me, I'm on page 10.
Page 10. Okay. Let me get caught up with you. Well, anyway,
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're getting this going. Anthony, you there?
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up the chapter.
Yeah. Oh man, like I said, I appreciate you guys. This is a last minute deal here.
It was a
So.
hell of a time trying to find a way in, actually. I had to go to my second Google Plus page.
It's still doing the same thing,
Yeah, but hey, you know, where there's a will, there's a way, so.
right?
Yeah. I was explaining the part that there's a panel where it's an overview with Madara and Abuto. And you see Madara's hand is inside the black Zetsu. And it looks like it's kind of molded into together, like it's all one thing.
Yeah,
You on page 9?
my manga stream on 2 different browsers is frozen, so I'm going to a different one. I'm going to go to a different one.
Because I'm really convinced that it's gonna be a setup fight with Abuto and Black Zetsu. Like this fight.
Well,
Can you speak into your mic a little clearer? I can't hear you.
Oh, you can hear me?
Yeah, it's better. Thanks.
No, I was saying that it looks like a setup fight with Abuto fighting with the Black Zetsu while Madara is there.
Yeah. You mean like the page, or you mean like at the end of the chapter? What do you mean?
all right.
No,
Okay, wait a minute. No, you're at the top of the page is where Sean is where you said Madara's got his hand and Obito's. He's got him on the Dark
Black
Zetsu
Zetsu.
side.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm there now.
Okay, page 9.
I guess it depends on which one you're at. This one's what I'm looking at it on. It's page 10, but we all know there's different pages depending on where you're looking at. So it's one where Obito and Black Zetsu and Madara's got his hand in Black Zetsu. Top
Yeah,
right corner.
on the upper left, he's like holding him up in the air.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. He's like half a body there. I just noticed that.
It's pretty amazing, isn't it?
It's kind of funny.
Amazingly stupid, but yeah.
Well, what is it? Senju DNA, and then just Madara by himself could do anything he wants.
It's so ridiculous. He's just floating there like a ghoul or something.
Like a ghost.
I can't take it seriously.
It's pretty crazy.
Have you ever thought that all this stuff Madara's doing? Have you ever thought that the original Six Paths did the same thing? Or he could have done the same thing?
You mean he could have went down the dark path like Madara?
Well, all the stuff that he's doing, like being cut in half, like blown up and still be alive, like had that same ability.
Probably, but what I think everything is showing is that Madara's path is the mother's path. It seems like the mother, the one that looks like the Death Reaper,
Yeah.
it looks like she went, because it even said, I don't remember exactly when, not this chapter, but before, it alluded to stuff that he was following kind of her path. He isn't even following, the brothers or whatever. So that's kind of what it.
This was mentioned like a few chapters ago, right? Am I mistaken? Like
Yeah.
It was before.
Yeah, it was said. I don't remember exactly, but all right. So let's go ahead and kind of we're going to make this a quick review. As a matter of fact, you guys just throw it out there. Anthony, what was it about this chapter anything that you just really jumped out at you, besides the top half of Madara and all that?
That's a hard question for me. I mean, in terms of what I enjoyed, I really enjoyed that. Even though it's been done to death, that flashback at the end.
Yeah, the nostalgia.
And it kind of just brought like everything full circle. We've seen that flashback plenty of times, but right after we got each part of the flashback that they went forward, and Kakashi was talking about you started here and now you're here, and that was cool having that all contained in one part of the chapter.
It did work in this chapter. It's been done a lot. It didn't always work though, right? So in this chapter it worked.
Yeah, it was just like segmented always before. You know, they'd flash it for a second, then it was out of place, and it just seemed it was really nice here. I don't know, it seemed like they were hinting that Sakura is going to have some sort of purpose coming up. I don't understand what it could be, but
Catch the Rinnegan.
I'm actually really curious to see what Kishi's gonna do to keep her relevant. I mean,
Well, I mean, look where he went. I mean, this. Look where he went. I mean, was it Michael? Me and you talked about this. I talked about it there. He went about her and the relationship with Sasuke. Well, they should have skipped over that because okay, it was Naruto and his struggles, and with her it should have been okay. She started to become somebody when she was working for Tsunade, right?
Right.
That's when she started becoming a real character. And
I mean,
she was. Hold on, Mike. Let me go right to you. But next. But so the whole Sasuke thing was pushed to the side. She's actually getting stronger, getting abilities, training. Right. It becomes a real character, and then it's her and Granny.
Kyo.
Chio, yeah, and they have that whole, and it's just amazing. All of a sudden, Sakura is there, right? She's transitioned, she's grown, she's somebody, and then that was it. And then now, evidently, we're not even talking, so we don't even go there. Now we go before, right? When she hasn't even grown. So
it's like,
it was just horrible.
Weird.
Kishi could have just said, like, you know, Sakura, you know, you felt like you were useless in the beginning, but you became a strong medical ninja, able to support, you know, able to support the Leaf, you know, with jutsu that rivals even our Hokage. Like, he could have, you know, he could have boosted her up and gave her some feats right there, you know, like you came up with the cure for all deadly poisons or, you know, whatever. But instead, he talks about her love life. he says, Sakura, you used to love Sasuke, and you probably don't love him like that anymore, you know, but you have such a kind heart to care about him, even though he's, you know, trying to kill you like several times.
But I feel as if as soon as Sasuke I feel as if once Madara's out of the picture and Sasuke's the center, you know, kind of conflict, and he's like the remaining piece that needs to be resolved in the series, she'll be more of like you know, kind of in the front and less irrelevant as she is now. Because I mean, I think it was a clue with Kakashi mentioning Sasuke when he came to Sakura. You know, I don't think she has a purpose in the whole Madara conflict. To be honest, you know, it's all Sasuke and Naruto with the reincarnations of the Sage's Son. So
that's what makes the end of the chapter so interesting, because it seems like Team 7 is going to fight.
Yeah, and I don't understand how.
Naruto, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand what she's gonna do. I mean, that's why I'm really curious to see.
I don't know, she's gonna bust out the slug sage mode or something.
Yeah, the own like she did. Oh man, don't even get me started on that. But that's a rant for another time.
I don't think he's going to do right by Sakura. I just don't think it's going to happen.
He hasn't yet. He hasn't since the beginning of Shippuden. So I agree with you there.
Her I would say like her highlight moment was like when he was fighting Sorcery.
Yeah, that was
awesome.
like
her. Yeah, that was like her highlight moment, and after that, I don't know what happened.
In the Chunin exam, she had some pretty nice points when she was fighting the Sound Ninja.
Yeah, Kishi did a really bad job just, you know, with only a couple of characters like Shikamaru, Sasuke, Naruto, they got like all the attention, and like all the other characters were just left out. And that includes Sakura. Like Sakura had no development time, no anything. You know, she feels really weak to be a part of Team 7. It's like she doesn't even like deserve to even stand in her shadow. You know? So
yeah.
It's like, it's really bad the way Kishi handled his characters. But, I mean, I don't know. Maybe he can make Sasuke use his space-time Rinnegan to, like, instantly make her hit Madara with punches or something. Because, you know, her punches are super strong. So,
yeah.
You know, this is neither here nor there, but just kind of a fact to throw out there that Sasuke has tried, all the girls that Sasuke has tried to kill, he's failed, and Kakashi's the only one that's actually killed a girl.
Yeah.
Sasuke
hasn't killed anyone himself.
Yeah, he's tried. He's darn sure
They always
tried.
either commit suicide or something else happens.
Yeah, and it's like, Kakashi, I'll show you how to do it one day, buddy. You can just... You know.
No, I actually read on the forums that there's this theory that Sakura You know her Shanaro in the beginning of part 1, which was Shanaro, and she had like the inner Sakura.
Yeah.
They were relating that to Madara's Limbo.
Oh man, I see the similarities too. That'd be ridiculous.
All right, no,
I couldn't take that seriously.
Okay,
but,
wait a minute. Break that. I mean, me and maybe somebody that's going to watch this is going to know what do you mean? Break it down for me. I don't remember. I'm not thinking.
Oh, the Shanaro. Just whenever she would be sweet and kind or whatever, and then they would show inner Sakura in black and white, and she'd be like a whole different personality. So people are relating that inner Sakura to the Limbo technique of Madara.
That's brilliant.
I'll tell you what, the inner Sakura is not nice. I'll tell you that.
Oh man, that's
imagine all of a sudden Sakura breaks out inner Sakura mode and just does an alternate Sakura running around.
I'm getting chills thinking about that. That's incredible.
I'll tell you what. You know who? Wow, we got a split screen. You know who shouldn't be there? Is Ino, because inner Sakura totally hates Ino.
Oh yeah.
Sakura hates everyone.
She kind of disappeared, because she came to accept. I don't know, wasn't there an arc with Ino or whatever where Sakura accepted herself and inner Sakura just kind of went away?
Well, I mean, inner Sakura was always kind of she went away once her character went from a comic relief to a legitimate character, and then back into a illegitimate character that was irrelevant.
All right, now let's go ahead and we're on page 11. Let's go ahead and was there anything on page 11, you guys? Because actually, I guess we can go ahead and let's go page to page. There's actually a lot of dialogue. Like I was saying in the review, is there anybody out there that doesn't think that Madara is just a pure evil genius at this moment? He's just a bad SOB.
Well, I want to know why did he choose Obito? That's what I didn't know. I mean, all right, no, he said that he chose Obito because Obito was really pure, or whatever. But I still don't know how he found Obito, how he set this whole thing up.
It was all set up. I can guarantee that even him getting crushed like that and needing the help, I can guarantee that was Madara. Every piece of this is him setting it all up.
Yeah.
It just is.
Even he mentions how he had control of the Mist Ninja.
Yes.
He might have also been influencing the Rock Ninja. That because remember the Rock Ninja kidnapped Rin.
Sure.
And they put her in a genjutsu or whatever. He might have been doing all that to get Obito to get injured and stuff. But then again, how would he know Obito's power would be to phase through the rocks? He wouldn't know that. There's inconsistencies here because.
Well, no, hold on a second. The whole thing with White Zetsu. Remember the whole communication network?
Yeah.
Him being in contact with people in the whole ninja world, I can understand and see that. How many people do you think were running around maybe like Obito, being part, Zetsu and everything? I wouldn't doubt that there may be a few of them. It's still you're bringing up a good point. That it should be fleshed out more exactly how Madara was doing this stuff before he was using Obito, right? Because it's clear he was active, right? He was doing a lot of stuff. Yeah. It was the Mist Ninja and whoever else. He was dominating these areas. So it would be nice to if you'd fill that in a little.
And obviously he would have had to be doing it from the Zetsus because he couldn't leave the cave.
Right.
So the Zetsus must have been enforcing his will or whatever. Maybe Black Zetsu was he didn't make Black Zetsu until Obito, I think. But anyway,
like I say, remember the White Zetsus communicate with each other over distance.
Right.
So he, being able to control them at a distance wouldn't have been that big a deal. Now, what do you guys think about this? Well, they didn't. I don't even know what you can call it. They didn't seal it, but what they did with the Dark Madara side of them, they kind of wrapped it up.
It looks like Naruto's using the chakra rod to hold it down, I think.
It's some kind of weird something around it, right?
Could be a sealing jutsu. I don't know. It doesn't really go into too much.
Isn't it the sealing jutsu from the first Biju?
Yeah, he's got the design of
you're right.
Of the Shukaku all over him.
Yeah, that's right. That must be Shukaku's Rasengan.
And Shukaku was the one.
It's probably encasing him in some sand or something.
Yeah, well, Shikaku said we need to we can seal. He's the one that said we could seal him. He told Naruto we could seal him with some of my chakra or whatever.
Right. That was meant for Madara, but the Limbo got caught in it. But I guess that's what would have happened to Madara if it would have hit him.
Right.
That's,
Yeah.
Interesting. But now he's going to come back, I guess. I still think some interesting things can happen over in this other, because that is Naruto, or excuse me, Obito's little dimension. So I wouldn't be shocked if Obito. Now let's all remember, who's the most resilient, hard-to-kill character in this series? Besides Naruto, it's Obito, right?
Obito.
Yeah.
Okay, so if any character can survive this, Obito, I'm just not going to be, like I say, he'll at minimum come back as a puppet for Madara, working him like a puppet.
It'd be cool if he was like a Sasori thing where Kankuro was controlling Sasori after he died.
Yeah.
I think that if he does come back as a puppet, then that means that he's going to get free of Black Zetsu and do one final heroic act with Kakashi. Maybe get his other eye back and then do like a one final jutsu to do something. I don't know. But because Obito at this point coming back alive, it just means that Black Zetsu is going to, get separated from him, and then Obito's going to do something. If he doesn't do that, then then Madara might just come out of this portal with a dead Obito, and Obito might just, say a couple of words and die.
Well, yeah, but two things. You got to remember, for Obito to lose the battle, look, everything you said can come true, but let me just put it in this package. Okay, Obito doesn't have the strength to fight Black Zetsu anymore, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so he is effective, and Madara is controlling Black Zetsu, so he's effectively got him as a puppet. Right then, and remember White Zetsu. Whenever he freaked out after Rin's death, he was basically doing most of the fighting anyhow, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you see what I mean? But it goes to what you're saying, that at least it gives us as fans the potential to sit there and go, okay, Obito. There's still Obito in there that at some given time might be able to come out and do, the Darth Vader thing, at the end. I want to see you with my own face, or and you know what I mean. He just tries to do some kind of something. Well, unlike Darth Vader, he'll actually do something.
I mean, I just don't want to see Obito, be like, I've been used my whole life and everything's a lie, and then all of a sudden just die miserably. He's got to have some kind of final stand before he dies. This one final thing that he's got to do.
I feel like his character has already been resolved. I mean.
Well, yeah, it's not for his character. It's basically, just so he doesn't go out like a punk.
Okay, but I want to say something.
It.
But I want to say something. This doesn't feel like the death of Obito. I'm just going to tell you, there's nothing in this that. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but to me, it just doesn't feel like this is. I think that there would be a bigger build-up or something.
Right, I agree. I agree.
Well, I feel like his one final move was him stealing part of Madara's thing when he got the staff and everything.
Right.
That was probably, well, to me it felt like that was probably his last move.
That was Obito's staff. That wasn't Madara's staff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
And his staff is actually on the floor in the comedy dimension. I don't know if that's going to come into play to do something, but I expect that when Madara comes out of the portal, he's going to come out with the Rinnegan in his hand, because he's the one you can see on the final page not final page, on page 13, that Madara is the one that uses Kamui, and he'll probably come out of the Kamui, with Obito's eye and his Rinnegan, and he'll have the Rinnegan in his hand. And then I guess before he does something with the Rinnegan, Sasuke and Naruto are going to pounce on him, and then I think Obito is probably going to fight Sasuke and Naruto, because I'm pretty sure that they'll be controlled by Black Zetsu. That's what I think, because I think when Madara has his hand inside of Obito's Black Zetsu part, so I think he's probably making Black Zetsu assert control over him, and that Black Zetsu is going to use Obito's last life to try to fight against him. So,
well, I mean, he says he only needs one final thing from him, and that's the
Rinnegan,
the other Rinnegan. So I think, he's pretty much throwing Obito in the trash. I don't think he's going to do anything with him, to be honest.
Well, I'm gonna kind of push this along a little bit here. Now, I'm going to go to page 14, and I'm going to go to something that a lot of people reacted to. What do you think about Naruto's ability to regenerate organs, such as eyes? Now,
I'm not as I didn't see as big. So many people were really bugged by that. I don't really see the problem. I don't see why it's too much of a stretch to assume that the Sage of the Six Paths had that kind of power. Wasn't he like the one who what's it called? Nindo? Was that what it was called
Yeah,
before? It was called
peaceful, regenerative, all that kind of
yeah.
stuff.
I mean, he was like he was the progenitor.
It's actually exactly what he did to the Ten Tails. He took a part of the Ten Tails and broke it into pieces or whatever, and it's kind of like Naruto has the exact same type of restoration.
It's kind of a creation thing that he has.
Yeah.
Yeah, restoration and creation thing. But let's also just admit it, everybody. This solves the whole. Because before this, what were people talking about? Is Kakashi going to be relevant in Naruto anymore? Because he has one eye. How can he get around with one eye? What can Kakashi do with? Now he's got two eyes. And the whole thing is well right. And I'll go right to you next, Sean. Is the whole thing is now that he isn't encumbered by an eye that's too powerful for him to use very much, right? Is he actually going to be better off without?
Oh, I was going to.
And does his chakra go up?
Yeah, and Sean. So Sean, what do you think?
Yeah, I was going to say that question. Like, is he going to be better off without the eye, and then just start using his own stuff?
He can't use Valkyrie anymore.
Well, yeah, but imagine what he's going to be able to do with his lightning abilities now that he's not going to be held back.
I mean, he can use it. It's just not going to be effective because he, develops like a tunnel vision.
Right. He won't be able to actively target that.
Right. So everything he can't do because of the eye was put that aside. Now he has more chakra, right, to actually use abilities that he's can use. That's what I'm saying. His lightning abilities he may actually be able to use much higher level lightning abilities now that he isn't that eye isn't constantly sucking massive chakra out of him. Remember, even Naruto. Wait a minute. Even with Naruto, remember how much better Naruto is off not being the Jinchuriki because he doesn't have to have a portion of his chakra always balancing it out. Right?
Right.
I think there's a potential for Kakashi to get some big power-ups with his lightning abilities and his other stuff there. So, but anyway, go ahead.
I don't expect Kakashi to actually be a big factor in this fight. I feel like he's going to basically sit on the sidelines and watch Madara fight Team 7, and then I guess if Obito is controlled, then he might be fighting Obito and Zetsu. That might be what Kakashi ends up doing. Which would make sense because Obito is, weak, very weak without, with Black Zetsu being in control. It would make sense why Kakashi would be able to put up a fight against him. He's in the Rinnegan, he just has he probably wouldn't be able to use his Kamui as much. And since Kakashi doesn't have Kamui anymore, he wouldn't be able to use it at all because then pretty much Obito Zetsu would win. So that's what I'm predicting. I'm predicting that that's going to happen.
Oh, I got a question.
Go ahead, Sean.
No, alright. You know how Kakashi was known as the copycat ninja, right?
Right.
You think he would memorize all the jutsus that he used from the Sharingan?
Yeah, I had that same question on my tongue.
I would pretty much guarantee that anything that doesn't require that eye to use, he could still use.
Yeah, but
memorized.
He memorized all the other jutsus that he.
Well, the Sharingan helps you break down.
Yeah.
I'm saying the Sharingan helps you to break down and understand the jutsu. So once you understand it, you should be able to use it without the Sharingan, right?
Yeah.
I mean, all of his jutsu since he got that Sharingan, or probably took the Sharingan's abilities into account while he used it. So are they even going to be effective now, even if he does remember them?
Well, I know I keep banging this drum, and I guess I'm going to bang it more. Is how much chakra, how much more of a chakra level is Kakashi going to have that he doesn't have that eye sucking out of him, right? I mean,
Right.
that eye was a lot of power, and they kept saying, he passed out the first time. I'm just saying he may be. I realize people may be not buying this right now, but I think he's going to be a more powerful character without
that would be good because I'm a Kakashi fan. I'd love to see Kakashi, without some of his unknown jutsus. But I just think he's been drained too much. I mean, he may not have the eye anymore, but when he did have the eye, he used Kamui after Kamui after Kamui after Kamui. and he's exhausted right now. So I don't
Yeah,
expect him to do anything.
But Naruto can zap him back up. He can energize him again.
Yeah, he has that power now.
Right,
Yeah,
but
but
will
even if
he
he
though?
can
That's the question.
regenerate him, but I mean, how much of his power, even if he's at full power, how much can he do against Madara, honestly?
No, no. What I think. Well, let me explain. This is what I think is going to happen, right? And I think probably. Oh, I don't know. I'll just say it, and you guys can give me your feedback. Sasuke and Naruto are going to try to fight him, and it's probably going to be Madara and his puppet Obito. Okay, and they're not going to succeed, and they're going to need Kashi because remember the theme of Naruto is having everybody support you and working together as a team.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen is Team Seven is going to be pivotal. They're going to have more help, I'm sure, in defeating Madara and his now puppet Obito. I think
Right.
that's kind of what's going to happen. It seems to be so.
And I'm saying if Kakashi has any role to play, it will be against Obito because he just can't does not have the strength up against Madara. But then again, I don't know why the heck Sakura is in there also.
Yeah, like if that's the case, what would Sakura do? Like she would be like a medical ninja or something,
Maybe
or
I'll have
like
to sit in the back and analyze.
You know what? I could see different routes we could talk about soccer, and it's been done before, and none of it's positive. So, all right, I'm gonna go. Let's go forward. Because until Kishi quits doing what he's done with that character, it's just gonna get,
Yeah.
it's gonna be what it is. It just isn't good, and I can already see it's going back into that mode. All right, I'm clicking on some more pages here. Now the flashback, I do like. Now we're into the flashback part of it, and I really like what Anthony said about it. It was he keeps doing the flashback, but it did feel nostalgic this time. So I really liked it. We actually kind of already covered this. I said we are going to speed through this, and we sure have not. We've got,
Well,
but
there's stuff to
that's
be
fine.
discussed, There's stuff to be
There
discussed.
is. There is. If there's more there, there's more there. So, and of course, its thing is teamwork, right? I do love. I want to talk about. I love the whole thing about Kakashi trying. Him and the whole Sasuke thing really got me this chapter. He's sitting there trying. He's like, what are you thinking? I was never able to understand you. I was never able to, Sasuke, and I mean, you don't have to tell me if you don't. I mean, you can tell he's like, I don't trust you. I don't understand you. I don't trust you, and I'm going to keep, both my now healthy regular eyes on you, and so he knows there's already an issue, but also he knows as the team leader, he knows what everybody can do. Well, except for they kind of have new abilities, so maybe he doesn't. But well, anyway, let's go ahead and close. Let's go ahead and start closing up. I'm on the last page now. Any kind of final thoughts of this chapter? We've actually done a pretty good job of covering a lot of this.
I really think we should have gotten some more stuff with Sasuke. I don't like that uber cliffhanger that was left off. We don't get anything out of him. And I should tell him, asking him, what are you thinking and stuff. At least we should have got some kind of hint or something,
I think it's just
He just keeps
foreshadowing.
dancing around it,
It's
Dancing around it
foreshadowing.
sometimes. Huh?
It's foreshadowing. That's why Sasuke's not giving us an answer, so that we can.
Foreshadowed ever since he showed up on the battlefield, It's like, give us something, throw us a bone.
Well, I'm saying the reason why Sasuke is keeping quiet is because he's got his own agenda, and Kishi is trying to make the audience feel nervous. Like, is Sasuke really, really on their
It's
side?
working.
Is he biding their time? Yeah, it's a tactic to basically prepare us for later on when Sasuke's going to reveal his own intentions or whatever.
Yeah, I hate to say this because I like Madara, but just that whole thing when it was just focused at the end on Team 7, I'm ready for those people to be the center of the story again.
Yeah.
I like Madara, but I'm ready for him to go away.
Well, I would say that the two things that stuck out to me this chapter was the fact that Obito and Madara's whole thing, like you said, Steve, like Madara really comes across as evil. But I was impressed with Obito too for figuring out that the seal was placed on his heart or whatever, and he came up with a way to get rid of it. And it just I think the chapter showed a lot. Obito has been portrayed to be this mastermind the entire manga, and Madara has now brought up to at his level or better in terms of mastermind stats. I just thought it did a good job of showing how Obito and Madara were both these masterminds that, even though Madara was ultimately superior, and Obito was the puppet, it just showed that how Obito was being portrayed as the Madara of, before we actually saw original Madara, you know what I'm saying? So I think it was hype for Obito. And
count him out.
yeah, and the other thing is the Team 7 thing with the Rinnegan, and like I'm excited to see what they're going to do. I really want to see how they're going to fight Madara, and like how this Team 7 idea is going to work out. Because Kakashi specifically mentions the bell test. Right. The bell test was trying to grab the bell.
Well, yeah, we're definitely recovering ground that we've already covered on.
Mike.
I got you, but I kind of want to go ahead and end into Naruto. And what I want to talk about now, even though I put it down spring anime, next I want to talk about Hunter x Hunter, because Sean has actually gotten into it. So I want to talk about Hunter x Hunter after this. But yeah, like I say, we've talked a lot, but anyway, but still, okay, another like 5 minutes was spent on Naruto. So Sean, is there anything else Naruto-wise you want to throw out there within the next 5 minutes?
Just only like one little thing. Just like it looks like Kakashi gonna get a second chance with the same team.
It is nice. Okay, now I like, and Anthony, I'll go to you, and I like what you're saying. We're ready for Team 7 to get back together and show us what they can do, right?
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, Anthony.
Well, I just want to say I remember when Michael kept stressing that how the manga and the anime kind of sync with each other, and they did this week with the flashback.
They do pretty much every week. That's a good point.
And then in the anime, they had the Team 7 thing, and it was totally synced. And there's a great example of that, and I just realized that when I was looking at it. So
that is a good one. When he first said it, I thought, well, okay, maybe. But then again, I started watching the anime again, that filler arc, which just ended. So,
and it just ended, actually. So
yeah, it just did. And then so that was. But we already pretty well covered that. And there wasn't really.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get down to it. I just point that out.
It's a very good point, Michael. Anyway, Michael, you got to go ahead and get the last word. Anything in the last just a few minutes here, if you want to close it up, and then we'll go talk about Hunter x Hunter.
I just thought it was a great chapter because not necessarily because of the fighting, but because it had a lot of backstory. I think that was necessary with Obito and Madara, and it gives me a lot of hope for what the heroes can do now, and also. It also plants the seed of doubt about Sasuke, so I think it was a very good setup chapter, and I liked it a lot. So that's all I can say.
All right, awesome. Now, before you guys came in, I appreciate everybody coming in. Sean was telling me he was getting into Hunter x Hunter, and he's already made it into the Chimera arc, Chimera Ant arc. Now, anybody watching this that hasn't seen Hunter x Hunter, we're just gonna talk about it. It's gonna be spoilers everywhere. So just realize we're just going to talk about. We're going to try not to go because you're on what episode 107 or something like that, Sean. You said something.
108, I believe.
Okay, so you're in the Chimera arc, and you said that it was the guy with the pipe fighting the lion, right?
G2.
Yeah, the guy. Yeah. You get deep purple smoke. That pipe's freaking huge. But anyway, so that's where you're at. Okay, now let me go to you, Sean, right in the beginning, because we already covered some of this. So when you got to I kept talking about the prisoners, but that didn't really get you, right? Because I want to get to where this really got you. So you get past the prisoners, you get past the whole thing with the school, and you're thinking Hunter x Hunter what? You're thinking...
No, because throughout the whole thing, like when it got to the prisoner part, then I was like, okay, now they take things a little serious. And then after that, then it was like, okay, until I got to the part where they had the spider part. When they was fighting the spiders during the auction.
Right. Yeah. That arc is just intense, man. It's high level. But the rest of it, you were just like, what was it? It's like, okay, it
was like enjoyable. And then I just keep going since I was marathoning it. I was watching like 20 episodes a day or something.
Yeah, but yeah, well, I'm trying. Like I say, I mean, I'm trying to get to the part where you. Okay, well, the spiders. You already answered the question anyway. The spiders is where you said I really like this, right?
Yeah.
But before that, you're just like, I mean, I'm trying to get this out of you. Where was it? You're like, it's, I don't know, like 1 to 10. It's like a 4. It's a 6. It's
It
like
was
it's okay to watch, but what?
it was like mostly like sixes. It was
Yeah.
it was it was some parts it was okay. Some parts was like, oh, it was really good. Like I liked that. And it was other parts like, all right, keep moving. And then I keep watching the next episode, and then it always leave like a cliffhanger, and I'll keep watching the next episode. And that's when I got to like the spiders. That's when I really enjoyed it because some of the stuff that they was doing.
When you say the spiders, are you talking about the Guinea rodent?
Yeah,
The Phantom Troop.
The Phantom
Phantom
Troop.
Troop. Yeah. Yeah.
it was to the part when they was doing like the auctions, and the guy I forgot his name.
He opened fires on everyone.
No, the blonde hair guy, the one that can do chains.
Oh, Karapika.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crappy gun.
When he was fighting the real big guy, that
Ugo.
was like action. Yeah,
Fighting Uvo again. Yeah, he's a great character.
that's when it took me like, oh, I really like it. Like I was like into
Yeah, it was just so great when you saw that, like, you know, that badass character who just killed and did whatever he wanted, just completely immobile and helpless in the chains, and he just
Yeah.
resigned to die. That was like the best part.
And he still held out to the very end. You know, he wasn't about to tell him anything.
Yeah, he was a tough guy. It's like, I hate the Phantom Troop because they're so evil and they're so, like, selfish, but it's just like they had badass characters. Badass character design. Yeah.
abilities too. What I like about this series, this show, is whenever somebody do an ability, like it explains it right after, and it explains in detail.
Now that's another thing. Has this okay? Yeah, any Naruto fans out there, don't if you're watching this, don't get offended or whatever. But if you started, I mean, where I'm going with this, Sean, is did you start looking at this thinking Naruto leaves a lot of things out there to figure out, right? This guy, like you're saying, he really more or less explains what's going on, doesn't he?
Yeah, pretty much.
And you don't really see plot holes.
No, not really.
Yeah.
I
So
feel like
this
Kishi
is-
started like that. I mean, the Land of Waves, it was pretty detailed. When he was fighting Zabuza and Kakashi,
Yeah.
it broke it
Well,
down, but it didn't last. You know, I know what you're saying though.
Yeah, it was a different manga back then.
It was.
Yep,
You
absolutely.
know, Kishi has editors, telling him what to do, and his story got all messed up.
All right. Well, I just want to touch on that real quick, but getting back, Sean, since you're the new person, so now okay. Just remember, Anthony got me. You told me like what, almost a year or so, 9 months, a year before I started covering it.
It
Anthony,
was a while ago. I can't remember exactly.
It was a while ago. He was telling me in comments, "Hey, you got to check this out, man. You got to check this out." I'm looking at it like, well, okay, then, because listen, man, every Naruto fan goes to people, "Hey, you got to watch these, 15 anime that I really like." So everybody does that. But then again, I didn't know you yet either. We just
That was before the Hangouts. You were still doing the viewer comments.
Yeah, it was different. Exactly. And then we started doing that, and then I checked it out, and I loved it. But anyway, Sean, I really want to stay on this. So, yeah, the Phantom Troop, the whole thing with the bosses. I want to. Well, gosh, now I'm going to go into the whole thing. I have to say, for a character to use a vacuum cleaner, that was a pretty epic ability. It doesn't sound like it, but it was, man. It's like
Every person had his own ability that would benefit the whole group.
yeah. It was pretty crazy. So, and also like Michael, when Anthony was trying to get me to, you were explaining the abilities, but he steps it up. So instead of just all of a sudden needing to, like sometimes you tell you so much in an episode. It's okay. This is Nen power. Okay, this is how you can use it offensively. This is how you use it defensively. This is how you use it to see. Step by step, Tagashi's been walking us up this.
Everything
that
is very detailed.
very detailed. So when we start seeing new stuff, instead of going, well, wait a minute, he hasn't explained that before. Oh yeah, he did explain all that before, and now I know. Right, I feel comfortable with Tagashi when I see this new stuff. He will tell me how it works. Right. So it's just brilliant.
It's not just how it works. There's also a psychology behind it.
The inner thinking. Yeah, we haven't got into that, but yeah, that's a good point.
I'm not even talking about the characters. I'm talking about just like the Nen style and everything. Like there's a whole like system built into it. Like there's a whole you can see the
It's
thought
structured.
process.
It's planned out. It's all been worked out beforehand. It is. He's not playing catch up. He's not having to, do any tricks or whatever. But Sean is the new fan, so I'm really zeroing in on him as far as it. So the Phantom Troop is where the spiders. That's where you really get into it. Okay, how do you rate this? I mean, I don't know how many manga that you're in right now, but currently the animes you're watching, how high up do you rate this?
Like all the mangas I've seen, like was 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Like I'll rate this like based on how they explain the abilities. I would say it's higher than Naruto. I'll put that as number 1 on my list. But since I've been following Naruto for so long, I guess that's number 1 and Hunter x Hunter is 2.
Yeah.
But it's like getting up there. It's like a switch off.
Yeah, I really like Naruto. Say if Naruto was like an 8 on my list out of 10, 10 being the best, this to me this is a 10. That's how high I am on Hunter x Hunter. It's not that Naruto's bad. I know some people may hear this and get upset. People always do that. But it's just Togashi is so good. He's different, right? This guy thinks differently, doesn't he?
Yeah, because right when they had like the Heavens Arena, and then they found this teacher teaching them how to use Yen, and then they broke it down like in a smaller version so we can understand. And as it progresses, then it was like a little more advanced, but all leads to the basic.
Right, but if you notice, like, what was it? There was some fights. The one with, what's the name of the guy that looks like the Count? I'm not going to Kasoko or whatever. What's his name? Kasoka. That one fight that he had, right, in the arenas and all that kind of stuff. I sit there and I watched it, and it was entertaining. And then it was explained how his ability works, right? And I sit there and I said, you know what? I didn't understand. I didn't even see half of what happened in that fight until it was explained to me afterward.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah, it was like bungee gum or something. I can't remember.
Oh,
He had
yeah.
Nin that was gum.
Yeah, but even the way he used it, it was the thinking. Well, if he does this, then I'll understand. And he basically was going to get killed, but he mentally crushed the other guy, literally. And that's how he won, is mentally, because the other guy was going to beat him. That was amazing. So it isn't just my power level's bigger than yours. There's all the mind games, right?
He's a transformer type, so it perfectly plays into his like shady character. He hides himself well, and he masks himself by using his like Nen ability to transform things and stuff. It's really good.
Yeah, you know what I also like? Alright, like in every character, they always have their inner thoughts of like what they should do, the decision. It's the way how each character, the way how they think. Like that's the one like I really like. Like for me, like when Hisoka will start thinking, it was still his thinking process, how he used his ability, and then another character like how they use their abilities, but the way how they think, and that's got me even hooked up to the show.
Yeah, he doesn't. I guess and I want to get your feedback on this, you guys, a little bit. So he keeps the amount now. In case the arc that I want to get too much into it because Sean isn't through the ant arc yet, but
No.
oh well, let me tell you, you got a lot of joy to happen in front of you too in that ant arc. There's a lot more you got that's going to happen there, but he keeps. Have you noticed that what Togashi does? He keeps the amount of characters low, right? And even the abilities, if you think about it, there's a fair amount, but there's not that many. So he keeps a fair amount of, there's a smaller number of characters that you can keep track of, right? And less, and then the abilities, which he explains kind of as he goes. So you're not, once again, it's planned out, it's kept, size kept small, it's manageable for the writer and for us. Okay, you're back. Okay. Okay, now you're back, Anthony. Okay. But anyway, anything you guys, like I said, I don't want to go on too much longer with this, but
Well,
okay,
I'm
Anthony,
sorry.
go for it.
I have a question for Sean. How do you feel about the the episode 85 with the big kite death. How shocking was that for you? Because that really kind of hit me in the gut when I seen that.
That was like, oh man, like I couldn't. I was like, damn, they really. And what made it funnier to me, like I know it's not funny, but he lost.
I know what you're saying. Go ahead.
Yeah, like I know it's not funny, but to a cat though,
What?
because they all have like animals.
Oh yeah.
I
I
think
tell
it's
you,
a bear or a rhinoceros or something, but a little kitty.
They're
yeah. I
not.
tell you what. That was like one of the first moments where you're like, man, these Chimera ants are no joke. Like they don't
Yeah,
play around.
Yeah, they're ants. They're not really animals. They just
What?
have animal
Oh,
DNA.
wait a minute, I got to ask you, and Mike, if you had any questions for Sean, because like I say, he's the newest member that's getting caught up in this. Sean, what did you think of Kite's gun?
that was what the whole abilities like
The
with the
whole
gameplay.
randomness of it, yeah.
Like, uh, it was a unique ability. Like, it was like he don't know what weapon to use. Like, he was just go based on chance.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
all random. Whatever he got, and he had to use it. Like what was it? There was a scythe. There was a gun. And the last one, we didn't see what his ability was, but it almost looked like a wand that he pulled out against Pitu or Pito.
Yeah,
And it's a real shame that we didn't get to see all of them. But you know, so Togashi does. He giveth and he taketh away.
where I'm at now is I forgot the guy's name, the one that holds the pipe.
Yeah, his name's Morel.
Yeah,
Well,
he's fighting the guy that looks like a lion. I'm
Yeah,
up to the part where it's this little girl that's playing this board game with the
yeah. The Komui is playing with the king, whatever, right?
yeah, and then he like offered his arm because he was like insulting her or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm up to that part.
Yeah, that part. That's
it's
right
pretty
where you
intense
see like
battle.
a transformation in the king. That's a great part.
Yeah, we don't get too far in that, but yeah, yeah, that actually that battle with him and the lion, that's a pretty intense. You can really see what his abilities are. It's
Well,
pretty good battle.
I don't know if you said this, Steve, or it's probably someone else, but someone said that yeah, he really do look like Cell from Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
The lion
king.
guy.
No,
Wasn't
the
he
king.
Leo?
The king.
Leo?
The king. He looks like so.
Oh yeah, I mean his tail. I mean just look at his tail.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think he was like they were saying that he was like addicted to like DBZ for a while, and the Cell arc was his favorite arc, so he kind of implemented a lot of it into that arc.
Yeah, it's definitely an homage to Akira Toriyama.
Yeah.
Well, it was one thing I'll say is like, and I've said this before, is you think one of the things that gets me into this, keeps me so interested, is you see the obvious way he can go with something, and you see like, okay, he'll just do something radical or this, and then he'll just completely do something else, but it's justified by what he's written it. You know, it's just amazing, and then and like you say, we get wound up into these little battles. Right, that happen here. Not even the big stuff, but the little battles. Togashi makes so interesting because he pulls you in. You know, he makes it so darn interesting. But anyway,
Yeah, makes these secondary characters interesting.
Myself in.
Michael, is there anything else? Is there anything else you want to ask, as question wise, as far as Sean, as far as his feeling? How
How
he's
did
gone
you
with the
feel?
series?
How did you feel when you saw the cat? When the Chimera ants first learned about Nin, how they dissected that guy's brain and put the antennas inside his brain and fiddled around with that. That for me, that was a pretty chilling moment. When he
Oh
was
yeah.
hiding behind the dead meat.
Wait, what part was that? Can you repeat that? My fault.
The first Nin user that was caught by the Chimera ants.
Yeah.
He used like his little, he's used his like Nin arrows and he was attacking the ants with them. The Royal Guard, the cat Royal Guard, she caught him. Neferpito caught him behind the bodies, like hiding whatever, in the where they were preparing all the meat, and it was like a moment of terror, and he just instantly died. And then they show her later on, or him, whoever Neferpito is, they show it using like he just rips off the antennas off of another ant, and like sticks them in the brain and starts like figuring out how the human brain works and gets him to spill all his secrets about Nen and stuff. That for me that was sick.
Oh, that was crazy. I remember that part. What was even worse for me? Remember that little girl that was be with him?
What little girl?
Oh yeah, the little girl, the brother, right? You're talking about?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, remember he was running in the forest, and then it was like some creature with a gun, and he was just shooting him repeatedly. That's the part that got me the most.
Yeah, you sit there and you go, this isn't fairy tale, folks. This is Hunter x Hunter. Even little kids get killed here, dude.
I was like, wow, they really like stuff about to get real. Like it was like no joke. Like everybody's like want to kill somebody.
Both of those kids got turned into chimera ants.
Yeah, Colt, the guy with the wings, who was like the first squadron leader.
Yeah, he's that
He was
boy.
the brother.
Yeah.
And I forgot what was the little girl.
She just gets turned into like a little girl chimera, and at the end, like he takes care of her, Colt, whatever. And they actually go back to human civilization.
Well, yeah, we don't want to get too far ahead here. You know, I don't know how that relates to where Sean's at with it. I don't want to go too. I don't want to go past where Sean's at.
So you didn't say spoilers.
Well, it is spoilers. No, I'm right. I just saying it now. Let's keep it to where he is. So.
I don't think. That's before where he got to. I thought.
Yeah, I think so, but like I said, I don't remember for sure. But anyway, whatever. It's not a big deal. I don't want to go, like I said, I don't want to go too far ahead for him. But it is spoilers down below that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so all right. Well, let's go ahead and I guess wrap up the next 5 or 10 minutes with Hunter x Hunter because this can go on a long time. I really love, as you know, I love the series, and I actually that's how I get in trouble every day.
Yeah. So what else are we going to talk about?
Well, is there anything else Hunter x Hunter wise, you guys? Well, I mean, the last episode was pretty good, but we already talked about it, Mike. We already kind of broke that down. I definitely don't want to, because that would make this, make us go like another 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go too far. And we're what is it? Was it Monday or Tuesday? We get the next episode. So.
Right.
The only thing I'm going to say, Sean, is there's one episode. I'm not going to say which one it is, but I think actually you already heard about it. A lot of the top reviewers have said it was the best one this year in any series in Hunter x Hunter. So.
I think I know which one you're talking about.
Oh yeah, and but you're already locked in. So I'm so glad that you got into the series and that Anthony. That you talked me, helped talk me into checking this one out because this has just been amazing to me.
Hey, I'm glad you're into it.
Right, and Michael, you did help. You did help some there. So, but Michael has been, pushing me to do this for the longest time.
I'm back.
So, Michael?
No, I just muted myself for a minute, so I said I was back. So.
Oh, okay. I'll go back. Okay, so I guess we can go ahead and close out. Is there anything else short that you guys want to talk about? And I want to say how happy I am to get back on the air with you guys, and we can start. And in this, at least officially, we haven't missed a Naruto hangout. It was, and you guys did a great job. And then Friday we'll have it. Yeah, well, Friday we'll be able to have another one. And I'm going to, like I say, my next review. We'll see how it goes. My next Hunter x Hunter anime review. I'm going to say Hunter x Hunter episode review, whatever. I'm going to see if I get a strike or if they leave me alone or whatever. So.
Yeah.
We're going to see, because if this channel is going to become about Hunter x Hunter, I kind of need to say it, right?
Why don't you, why don't you just do your other channel for Hunter x Hunter?
I'm going to do it on the other channel, not this.
Yeah, and save this just for the hangouts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, right now that's the way it's going to go, and if you guys can tell, I posted a video. If you can tell anybody, to come over here to also subscribe to this one. I might make another video also telling everybody to come over. So, yeah, and I think that will work out pretty well. All right, and also we'll be able to start Sundays. We'll start doing the springtime anime. Although it's going to be a lot less, so next Sunday we'll do that. Michael, I know you definitely want to be. Yeah, definitely in on that, and then some other people definitely we're going to do that. And I would like to, I guess Hangouts for Hunter x Hunter is not gonna. It's not going to happen as far as specifically until this thing gets kind of wrapped up some way. That's the only thing that I guess it's going to go down. The reviews, and I'll still talk, on the other one. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah,
Is there
pretty soon
anything
we'll be
else?
having hangouts on the manga chapters when they come out.
Yes.
That'll be fun.
That will be amazing. Can you imagine how excited everybody's going to be? Because see, Sean, you're not at the point to where once you get caught up, right? As a matter of fact, you may get caught up by the time the new stuff comes out. So it may be perfect for you, Sean. But there's been other people who have been waiting 2 years.
I'm gonna try to marathon it as much as I can until I get to where I have to read a manga to keep going.
Yeah. Yeah, you got a lot of fun ahead of you, man. This arc is.
Yeah, I really like this Camaro ant art.
Yeah, it ends pretty well too. It's got a nice ending.
Yeah, it was a shocking one, but I don't want to go into it.
It's like
yeah.
And the way that it ends, though, it's just like it's so great because it's just like, how do you bring this unstoppable evolution down? And the way he does it is just pretty much the king brings himself down by not being the ant that he's supposed to be. And he becomes more human. That's just really cool how he goes about the ultimate defeat of the king. It's really good.
Yeah, I don't want to say anything because I know we're going to talk another 30 minutes on this, which is awesome. But I'm trying to keep it to a manageable time. Well, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and close it out. So I appreciate you guys, short notice showing up. I really do appreciate it, and I'm so happy that we can get to hangouts. We can start doing this again because I really, even though it's really sucked, but it is what it is. Where there's a will, there's a way, right, Anthony?
Yes.
That's exactly the way it is. We're going to close it out. All right, everybody. Once again, thanks, you guys. We're awesome. Until next time, take care.